Meghan and Harry have largely kept Archie and Lilibet out of the spotlight so far. Do you think this could change in the future?
I think it might change in the future because I feel that they are going to need the addition of their children to kind of burnish their own image. They won't look at it like that, of course, and it doesn't sound um, very kind. But I mean, imagine if Harry and Meghan do one of these royal in inverted commas trips again and have the children with them. And I think, I mean, they're very cute looking, both their children, and I would think people would absolutely love that. So in a way, it would burnish their image. And also, they probably love to have their children with them. Now, whether it will happen or not, I don't know, but I suspect it probably will.
Do you think that there's, yeah, with that, a possibility that Meghan could use, the kids in her new business, maybe doing like some kids items, maybe similar to
Yeah.
what Carol's kind of done with party pieces, maybe either like party things or clothes or things like that?
Well, I think if Meghan's got her head screwed on right, and we all think she has, and she's very smart, I think she would definitely want to go slightly down the kiddie line because most mums do. When you have young children, you want to get involved with them in every way you can, and of course, you see what they like and you see how they react to things. So I think very likely that Meghan will start to include some sort of kiddie things in her range of jams or whatever she does. Maybe specialized children's food. I'm not sure, but it'll be something to do with childhood. Of that, I am certain. It's a very commercial idea.
Do you think Harry will want to install like a feeling and an importance of having his kids on a public platform championing causes that are close to their heart, like Diana sort of instilled in him? I know he wants to keep them kind of private, but there's also that element of getting your views and getting the charities out there. So do you think he'll want to sort of encourage that in them, even though it's kind of contradictory?
I think he will. I think Harry will want to encourage it. And I think he'll want his children to be seen, to be green, and to be caring about the environment. And what better way to do it than through a child? I think I think the temptation to include the children in some of their projects will be too strong for them not to do it, in spite of their protestations about wanting their children to have a private life, or them wanting to have a private life. Well, their life isn't particularly private. They've kept their children very private, but I think the thing is the kids will want to start coming with them. Children love all that kind of thing. And I think that they will find the temptation too hard to resist. I think that Harry and Meghan will include the children so they can say, look how we brought them up. Look, they really care. Our kids care about the environment. Well, I think they probably would. They would arrange a party outside of their house. So they probably get a whole group of kids and take them somewhere. So it's a bit different for them because if you have a party at home, it's not so exciting. But if you go somewhere and have a party, and of course they've got a lot of very high profile celebrity friends with young children. So it would be, I'm sure it's quite competitive about, who can give the most glamorous, extravagant party. But I think Harry and Meghan probably would play it down a bit. But I'm sure that they would organize some sort of themed party, but I don't think it would necessarily be at their house. They would take them somewhere, maybe to a play center or a private play center. And because, kids at that age, they just loved romping around and rolling about and just having fun. Well, we know that they don't like anything plastic. There's a big movement amongst young parents now, no plastics. And some time ago, I think it was actually Hugh Grosvenor, who's a godfather to Archie, sent Archie a birthday present, and a note came back saying, "No plastic, please." So we know that Meghan and Harry don't approve of plastic presents, but kids love them. They love the brighter, the shinier, the better. But I don't think we'll see Princess Lilibet getting into one of those sort of, plastic push cars or things like that. I don't know what she'll be allowed, but I'm sure they're quite fussy. I mean, maybe they'll take them all, or maybe they'll hire a carousel. They can actually do anything they like. They just said that she's a delightful little girl and she never stops talking. And like lots of little girls, she loves pretty clothes. And really, we don't know much more because, of course, they're very protective of their children. And we've hardly even seen a picture of her. We've certainly only seen one a really decent official picture of her. The others have been sort of paparazzi shots, and obviously when she was a baby, but we've seen very, very little of her. I would think she probably does lead quite an extravagant life because it's you know that they live in one of the most expensive areas of California. They're surrounded by movie stars and celebrities and people that have a lot of money and can afford to live an extravagant lifestyle. I'm not saying that they would be ostentatious, but I think it would be quietly very extravagant. And I'm sure those kids have been on, you know, private jets and things already. In the old days, the Queen and Prince Philip didn't really concentrate too much on half terms with their children, and they were looked after by nannies and governesses, or they went to stay with friends. But the generation of royals that we have now, it's a very big deal. And William and Kate always said that their children would come first when they get on with their duty, but they do put their children in a much more prominent position than it used to be, than, for instance, King Charles was when he was a child. So it's full of activities. They used to go to Mystique at half term and stay with Carol and Michael Middleton, or occasionally William, you know, took a house himself. You know, they used to take the children skiing during the skiing season, but obviously with Kate's illness, they have very much been at home at Adelaide Cottage. But for half term, they go to Norfolk, to their house on the Sandringham estate. I think that what they've got the whole of the Sandringham estate on their doorstep. And there's now a big sort of woodland amusement park there, which I know that they love. I mean, all Kate's kids are very active. They love football, as we know with George, who's been to several football matches now, and he's an Aston Villa fan. And apparently Charlotte's rather good at football as well. So I think they probably have football matches, with William and with their friends. And they also have a sort of menagerie of animals there. William recently spoke about their guinea pigs and how he ended up having to clean them out. Well, I don't know if the guinea pigs are at Anmer Hall or down at Windsor, but I'm sure they take them with them. It's not very difficult to move them about. And they had chickens at one time. And at one time, they actually had a hamster called Marvin, which I think is a wonderful name. But I've got a feeling that was about 2016. So I don't suppose Marvin is with them anymore. But typical sort of kids' pets. And then Charlotte's lucky enough to have her own pony. And she's absolutely mad about ponies and riding and everything to do with it, as often little girls of that age are.